Hello, YouTube community. It's Robert S., and welcome back to Robscure Music. Today, I'm going to the movies, so come along. We can see The Lost Weekend. John Lennon, May Pang, and I'm seeing it with my friend Joe
That's right.
Mayo.
Hey, this is my third time seeing this. I went once with my girlfriend, once with my friend Anthony, and once with my friend Robert S. That's how much I like it.
So let's go see it, and we'll get my view of this afterwards.
The London Times has carried a sobering report that the Beatles may bring their Mersey sound to the United States.
And you were a 22-year-old secretary at the time, right?
Shadows the news from Poland, Iran, and Washington tonight. Former Beatle John Lennon, who was 40, was shot and killed outside his luxury apartment.
Life ended it for me. What happened out there?
So, I saw The Lost Weekend, a love story, and let me tell you a little bit about this. Obviously the movie is May Pang's story. This basically recounts the 18-month or so relationship that she had with John Lennon during his so-called lost weekend, although the weekend was a year and a half. And it was a time when he was away from his wife Yoko Ono. Yoko essentially, I guess, had sent May with John, and I'm sure she had her reasons for that. In any event, my view of May Pang has always been somewhat neutral. Actually, leans more towards a positive view of May Pang, and I think she was there at a time when John needed someone like May Pang, or someone he knew. John has always had somewhat strong women in his life. He had, obviously growing up at Mimi, then, the Beatles became bigger than, well, you know how it goes, but they became bigger than. But in any event, for a few years, and when you think about it, it really was just a few years, John did not have a strong woman. He was married to Cynthia Lennon. Obviously, they had a son, Julian. And then he met Yoko Ono, another strong woman, married her, had this sort of split, and May Pang filled the void. So I've always had a somewhat positive view of her, and I've heard people say that they've seen the movie and they have a little bit more appreciation for May Pang. I actually walked away losing a little respect for her. And that's not to say that I think what she did was wrong necessarily, but the intent of the movie is basically for May Pang to tell her story. And what she says is that, she was hearing versions of it and she didn't want someone else to be writing history for her, writing her story. So she is writing her story this time. But again, it is her story. And there's that age-old adage, there are two sides to every story. So this particular movie is May Pang's view, and it's very unfavorable to Yoko Ono. And I think the points that are made are done to fit the narrative, which is basically that, Yoko was bad and May was good for John. And May felt like she and John were going to have a future. And I'm not sure that I walked away convinced after seeing this movie. It is a great movie, and I would tell people to go see it, but keep an open mind. And again, hear the other side of the story, if we ever get to hear that side of the story. But get to know the players and get to know their motivations, and I think you'll have a better appreciation for what actually transpired. But nevertheless, we've got this movie which, paints a different picture, and it at least had some really fascinating clips, some drawings, some pictures that we have never seen before. So it was fantastic to see that. So anyway, that's my sort of summary of the movie. Again, it's for a limited time. Hopefully it comes out on DVD. If you're not able to see it in the theaters, perhaps you'll see it on DVD. So stay well, friends, and remember, if the music strikes a chord, let it play.